Today we're going to solve word problems using systems of equations. But first of all, how about a little riddle? What's a cat's favorite treat? A cat's favorite treat. Mice Krispies. Okay, let's get into the lesson. Okay, I'd like to start off with some steps for solving word problems using systems. First, we want to understand the problem. Wrap your mind around it, understand how the problem works. That'll make everything easier. Then, we're going to define the variables. And after we define the variables, and what I mean by that is like, say, let X represent this or Y represent that. Or you can use whatever letters you want. Then we're going to write the system and solve the system. Today we'll be doing linear systems with two variables. So two equations, two variables. The last step seems sort of trivial, but it's really important. You need to answer the question. A lot of times I'll see students stop and say, y equals this or x equals this. But what was the question? The question probably didn't have x's or y's in it. So always make sure you're answering the question. For example 1, you buy a drink and a burger for $4.50 at Chavez Burgers. So you got a drink and a burger. We're not going to worry about tax and all that stuff. Your friend buys a drink and 5 burgers, and they pay $16.50. So how much does each drink cost? Let's make sure we understand the problem. You get 1 drink and 1 burger, $4.50. Your friend gets 1 drink and 5 burgers for $16.50. Okay, so let's see if we can first define the variables. Let's let X equal the price of a drink. Also, you could have defined it the other way. It wouldn't matter in the end. And then we're going to let Y be the cost of the burgers, of each burger. Okay, so for your order, 1x plus 1y equals $4.50. Notice I don't need the ones, but I kind of like them there. Now your friend's equation would be 1 drink, because drink is X, and 5 burgers, burgers are Y, equals $16.50. I wonder why the friend just didn't buy everything. Anyway, okay, so let's get organized. And I think this one would be best solved with elimination. I already have the X's with the same number. So I'm going to leave the second equation as is. X plus 5y equals $16.50. And the second equation, I'm going to multiply by -1, which is going to give me a negative x, a negative y, and a negative $4.50. Remember that everything gets multiplied by that negative, or whatever number we decide on. Now notice here, those are gone. I get 4y, and if I subtract here, I just get 12. Divided by 4, y equals 3. What was y? Y is the cost of the burger. So the burgers cost $3. But that's not what the question asks. It says how much does a drink cost? And the drinks are my X values. So I'm going to plug in to my original equation, x plus y equals $4.50. And I'm going to put the y value here. So I get x plus 3 equals $4.50. And now, if the burger is $3, notice that leaves $1.50 for each drink. So now I want to answer the question and say each drink costs $1.50. All righty. Let's look at the next example. Example 2, WLBP radio station, Long Beach Poly, radio station plays 272 songs. All of the songs are hip hop and rap. The number of hip hop songs was 3 times the number of rap songs. Okay, so way more hip hop than rap. Hope they play Mary J. Blige. How many hip hop songs were played? How many hip hop songs were played? Okay, let's start by defining our variables. I'm going to let X equal the number of hip hop songs. And Y be the number of rap songs. And it doesn't matter which you choose. So X plus Y equals 272 songs. Says we played 272. Now for my next equation, it says the number of hip hop songs. Oh, I love this word. Was or is always means an equal sign. So the number of hip hop, let's see, hip hop is X. So the number of hip hop was 3 times the number of rap, and rap is Y. So I have X equals 3Y. Now I have a system of equations. And remember, for systems, you learn 3 methods: graphic method, elimination method, and substitution method. So I think this one feels like substitution would be best because I have X by itself and I can simply plug 3Y in for X. So now that gives me 3Y plus Y. See, I put the 3Y here, the plus Y, and now equals 272. So 4Y equals 272, and we know how to solve this type of equation very well. That gives me 68. We can easily punch that in the calculator. But what did Y represent? Y is the number of hip hop songs. But the question says how many hip hop songs were played. So I can use this original equation, X plus, instead of Y, I'm going to put the 68 in here. And now I can solve for X. And looks like there's 204. So we have to make sure we answer the question, how many hip hop songs were played? There were 204 hip hop songs played that Saturday or that day. That's a lot of songs. Alrighty, it's always best to answer a word problem with a sentence. It gives context to the problem. Alrighty. Now we're about to go to the prom. Let's go. The Key Club rented 4 Stretch Navigators and 2 Stretch Hummers. So they used that for 72 club members. We're going to assume each vehicle was full and all the Stretch Navigators held the same amount. So for example, if the Stretch Navigators hold 6, then each one has 6. Even though we know that's probably not that realistic. Anyway, it's just a word problem. Now the Beach Club only needed 1 Stretch Navigator and 2 Stretch Hummers to hold their 42 students. How many students does each Hummer hold? So, Key Club has 72 students. Beach Club has 42 students. We should first define our variables. Let's let X be the number each navigator holds and Y be the number of students each Hummer holds. I think those Stretch Hummers are way bigger. Anyway, let's write an equation for Key Club. They had 4 navigators, so that'd be 4x, and 2 Hummers, so that'll be 2y, equals 72 students. And now we can write our second equation, 1 navigator and 2 Hummers for 42 students. This one looks like I would solve by elimination because these numbers are already the same. So I'm going to multiply this equation by -1 and leave the first equation the same. Now when I add these together, the y's eliminate. Ooh, nice. Came out nice and easy. So now 10x equals 10. So x was the number of students each navigator holds, but this asks for how many the Hummers hold. So I'm going to use one of these equations. I'll just use this one, doesn't matter. So I get 1x plus 2y equals 42. And now I can solve. And looks like y equals 16. And now I'm going to answer the question. Each Stretch Hummer holds 16 students. And that's a fair enough sentence.